heavy. And I like it from the back so your butt steady. I know I got some business, but I ain't tripping. Now, mama, I love success, but I ain't licking. Now I'm prepare yourself for a smooth whipping. You don't want it, girl, you don't know what you missing. I'm the baddest born kid walking. You ain't really gotta keep my head up with any word. I got a few in the East Coast, a few in the West. Down south in mid-W, what's up to the rest? Can't forget about the cattle when he's struggling with debt. No matter what I get into, I love myself. What's up? What's up? What's up? Turn it off in this mother. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Turn it off in this mother. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Turn it off in this mother.
Like we always do at this time, I go for mine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. Go for mine.
好的，请我们双方球员呢停止练习，我们即将要来开场。麻烦请我们双方球员停止练习，谢谢。
Won't even get pulled over in they new feed. The good life, let's go on a living spree. They say the best things in life are free. The good life, it feel like Atlanta, it feel like Miami, it feel
好的，请我们双方球员停止练习，谢谢。
All the player, please start practicing. Thank you.
So I roll through good, y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood, Ferrari. And she got the goods, and she got that, I got to look sorry.
Hello， 线上还有现场的乘客球员朋友们，大家好，我是李一波 PLEAGUE， 欢迎大家来到我们桃园璞园领航员的主场，非常开心呢，在礼拜天可以在这里看到大家。那今天看到非常多的朋友们呢，来到我们桃园主场支持，欢迎大家来到这里。那也记得想要提醒大家，我们4月份呢，4场主场门票已经在 7-Eleven、iDon 开卖，也记得线上这个要抢票，大家记得准时去买票啦，谢谢大家。那在这之前呢，想要跟现场的朋友们打声招呼，如果你们准备好一起捍卫今天主场胜利的话，我要听到一个最大的尖叫声。谢谢大家。好，紧接着我们要欢迎今天的与会贵宾。那这位贵宾呢，将为我们带来连胜的祝福，希望大家用热情跟我们一起来欢迎他。让我们欢迎青年发展基金会董事长连胜文，欢迎董事长。谢谢董事长来到我们主场支持，谢谢。好的，那因为呢，这周是我们声援行动周。我们领航员特别呢邀请到这组名声享誉国际的团队来表演，勇于接受挑战，尝试实验朱宗庆打击乐团2团员们呢皆有10余年扎实的打击乐基础，并接受严格的音乐专业训练。除研习朱宗庆打击乐团专业、热情、具亲和力、东西方融合的特质外呢，年轻的朱宗庆打击乐团2更散发一股年轻人特有的青春气息，在曲目或者是演出形态更有自由开阔、不受约束的发展空间。朱宗庆打击乐团2以创意、清新、专业的独特风格，将为大家带来2首的歌曲。请大家呢在表演前先把我们的目光移向大荧幕，谢谢。 谢谢朱宗庆打击乐团2第一首带来的曲目《灌篮高手》。那他们即将呢演奏第2首热情的巴西街舞，把掌声送给他们。最热情的掌声送给朱宗庆打击乐团2。非常感谢朱宗庆打击乐团2带来的精彩表演，谢谢。今天的中场游戏呢，也将送出2张2023第11届台湾国际打击乐的门票，大家呢可以欣赏、观赏精彩的打击乐，也欢迎大家可以持续关注我们朱宗庆打击乐团。我们把时间交还给刘老师。
谢谢一波，也谢谢朱宗庆打击乐团2为我们带来精彩、奔放、热情的开场演出。在精彩的开场演出结束之后，马上要来为各位介绍今天对战2支球队所有登陆球员名单。首先为各位介绍今天来访客队高雄17直播钢铁人登陆球员。高雄17直播钢铁人球员背号2号 Number 2张杰伟。 Number 4球衣背号4号陈佑伟，球衣背号10号王柏志，球衣背号11号 Number 11林君豪，Number 13球衣背号13号吕正如，Number 18球衣背号18号林志伟，Number 20球衣背号20号孙思尧，球衣背号77号张国维。 高雄17直播钢铁人本场是 Starting Five 先发5人名单 ，Number 3球衣背号3号 Gokor Knudsen 悟空 ，Number 5球衣背号5号 Wendell Lewis 温德，球衣背号7号 Number 7林书豪 ，Number 14球衣背号14号邱伯章 ，Number 23球衣背号23号蓝少辅。 为各位介绍高雄17直播钢铁人总教练郑志龙，助理教练洪启超、李婉如、韩义平，影像分析师陈嘉轩，个人技巧教练林冠军，体能教练陈胜全，领队陈冠豪，管理沈秋展、周华公，营运长黄宏凯，总经理高景言。
制空战略反复模拟，雷达搜索洞悉对手极限速度，撕裂防线。 果决出手，轰炸蓝光，奋力摇起我们持续的飞翔，引擎点燃，全速起飞，领航员 ready for take off。
在第一节的比赛，你们的运球危险，前线超到，后面没有追兵的先靠来得分。
球员名单：球衣背号1号，空中新势力领航大门神，篮板先知丁恩迪。球衣背号5号，欧的伟大领航小可爱林志伟。 球衣背号6号，杀手回来到，最好别来闹，关大没啦，关大有。球衣背号00，空中快递拆弹高手，飞扣后卫陈玉瑞。球衣背号15号。 你的超跑坦克3分移动炮台，碰碰陈冠炫。球衣背号27号，3分流星雨，篮球情人状元郎马耀张镇雅。球衣背号30号。 控球魔术师神奇小白白耀成，球衣背号13号 ，Number 30，巴勒斯坦国宝大胡子战神萨米萨卡凯勒。Starting Five 先发5人名单。 球衣背号42号 ，Number 42，领航暴徒燃烧你的狂 ，Jason Washburn。 全背号25号，领航部岛翁，你的护国神阵雷震。全背号22号，领航招牌大锁 Triple H， 捍卫战士大汉黄宏宏。全背号28号，领航定心丸本土一哥，我们的队长阿瑶施金瑶。现在我要听到最大声的尖叫声，球衣背号69号，顺风飞翔旷野 MVP， 这是69卢俊祥。总教练 Camino， 助理教练 Diego， 助理教练暨球员发展总监杨一峰，助理教练黄启峰，数据分析师柯焕维。技术教练唐伟杰，体能教练刘连杰，管理李文轩，管理陈柏彦，防护师彭丽珍，防护员吴云凯，总经理陈信安，双方球员握手致意，谢谢。好的，欢迎各位乘客、球迷朋友们来到我们桃园璞园领航员的主场。今天呢，我们仍然有我们的飞行任务。上半场呢，只要达成团队20篮板，或是我们69卢俊祥投进1颗3分球，我们 Coco Duke 桃园新丰店呢就会提供200杯的饮料送给大家，谢谢大家。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Time to turn a new leaf. The Plus League signing and trade deadline has come and gone. It's time for all teams to show what they're made of. And today, we proudly have another matchup between the 2 of these 6 teams. 4 will make it to the playoffs. And the story is still yet to be written on the season. It's the Pauian Pilots hosting Taoyuan Xingdong, a special theme weekend where they hope to get the support of their home fans, and of course, our broadcasting partners doing a great job showing off what sights and sounds are on the concourse. And there's our matchup with the Kaohsiung 17 Live Steelers on the road against the Italian Pauian Pilots. I'm Ryan Chen, your English play-by-play always, and this afternoon, I have the pleasure of having Darren Portell on the commentary.
Thank you, Ryan, for having me again, and I'm looking forward to this matchup on this Sunday afternoon.
There's the standings table as is right now. Yesterday, both of the road teams won their separate games. The Kings, without Byron Mullins, kept the Braves at bay with Joseph Flynn and Kenny Manigault scoring 21 apiece, while the Dreamers got the magic number 21 points from Achi in the win against the Pilots here. And the Steelers bringing up the rear at 6-20, and the Lioneers in 5th place at 11-17 will be the road teams for this doubleheader. On the Mandarin broadcast is Aaron Yang Zhenlei and Eddie 张耀宗。球迷朋友们，你找到了 Plus D 的英文转播喽。要看郑磊跟张耀宗的奖品，当然就要按到官方的中文转播连接。但谢谢你的收看，记得我们的转播都要按赞。Finally getting things sorted out. Indeed, Jeremy Lin is in the active roster and will start the game for the Steelers. He was out last week with a little bit of a stomach flu, stomach virus, and one thing the Steelers kind of made it known is they definitely wanted to prevent that from going around camp, but it's about that time of year where obviously trade deadline comes and goes, but teams got to be aware of their player health and the team's health as well.
Right, especially when you have a player like Jeremy, you don't want to miss him for too many games and then pass it along. So they're going to try to do everything they can to keep it at bay. And they're having a stretch here where they're get down into the playoff run, trying to get them games won so that they can at least make the playoffs. It's pretty important for all teams to stay healthy.
The Pilots, they'll want to find some health on the offensive end. They only scored 95 points on the top on March 4th against the Kings, but then the last time they played a couple weeks ago against the Steelers, only 63 points, and then yesterday against the Dreamers, 77 points, but there's the 2-point and 3-point shooting splits. Not in the healthiest positions. Typically the Pilots, with their any 2 of 3 imports, have a little bit of advantage scoring the basketball close to the basket. But when that goes away, the 3-point shooting goes away, they're kind of a team in search of some good form.
Yeah, well, you know, when you get on those stretches where you're not, your shots aren't falling, you've got to keep pushing that ball up and looking to see what's going to fall and just keep staying with it. You can't get your head down or fall out of the game.
其实练的东西不会差哦，但就是会针对一些进攻可能走位上、跑位上的细节，然后去他们教练团去做一些调整，然后让我们在进攻上搭配上会多一点变化。这样，那就是对我们的鼓励，我觉得是最近其实我们球队算是在连败当中嘛，那他其实就算在比完赛我们输球，他也是跟我们说。鼓励我们，就是我们其实也有做得好的地方，那不要因为输1场球、2场球，那让自己的就是感觉自己有点变负能量，这样就要让我们保持正面的态度，然后去迎接接下来的练球跟接下来的比赛这样。任务我觉得其实教练团也蛮明确的，就是希望我在场上呢可以在防守端做出比较多的贡献。那所以这也是我上场就是我的首要目标。那我就是针对教练团给我的目标，我去尽力去完成。那自己是希望在进攻端可以更有把握一点，然后再有信心一点去，因为在下半季其实我们本土的得分可能比较不是这么平均。那我希望不止我，那其他本土也可以跳出来去帮助球队这样。
That's number 00 Chen Yurui sharing pregame that other teams are defending their offense's scheme better, so that's definitely one of the primary areas of concern. And so how they do that, they actually practice a lot of the same things, but Caminos and staff are trying to give them more options with individual set plays and individual little events and opportunities, be a little bit more detail-oriented. And as to his personal role, he says, of course, as it's still well known, he's a defensive first guy, but he and all his other local teammates want to have what is a higher degree of foul or sure-handedness when it comes to converting on their shot opportunities. Number 69, Liu Junxiang, is also, of course, a key member of their offense, but struggling to find his own opportunities. But maybe with their romantic TYP Valentine's jerseys, they can find a little bit better fortune. And for the Steelers, they've made one last change with their imports. It's Wendell Lewis there on the left, joining the fray, and they said thank you to Vyacheslav Kravtsov, who has been with the team for several weeks, and in fact 41 minutes per game in 13 games played was a big piece, but a little bit of those injury woes, and maybe they mentioned they want to bring a little bit more activity and activeness from their big could be part of their consideration.
Yeah, I know with bringing Wendell in, they're hoping that he can be a little more active on the boards and produce a little bit more and the scoring wise, and so we'll see how he comes in and adjusts well to this new team.
其实我们都很挣扎，因为其实我们大家都蛮喜欢 Slava 的，因为 Slava 也是他是一个很有经验的一个球员，他在乌克兰的国家队也10几年了，所以他什么大大小小场面都看过，然后他又可以打里面有中距离。对于 Lewis， 大概大家的想法就是顺便或许有一个那种 rim protector 可以帮忙保护篮筐盖火锅的弹跳的一个稍微比较快的然后就是在 transition 大概就是整体上可以再更积极跑得更快挥防得更快。我来到那个钢铁人之后，他就很信任我，就把防守这一块完全交给我，所以我的工作很简单，就是专门在看防守，那他看进攻，然后大概这样子的一个 分工合作奏效，因此让我们的防守有好起来。那第二个我会想说是所谓的那个林书豪效应，就是林书豪来到球队，他自己也是很注重防守，然后他也在那个练球里面，就是带领大家都多沟通、多讲话。
That is their assistant coach, Han Yiping, who shared that it was tough to part ways with Slava, but Lewis is an active rim protector and he runs the floor and is quite agile in that way. So that's part of what went into the decision. He also shared that him joining the team as it's his first time in front of a Plus League camera, saying that head coach Tony Zinzalong and Kenny Kaohsiung wanted somebody to help spread the focus on the coaching staff, so he's in charge of the defense. And when it comes to defense, Jeremy Lin is also a very active member on that side for the Steelers. And the most important thing, just like anything, he encourages his teammates on the floor and his team on the bench to communicate more. And that's, of course, the key to running good defensive play as a team.
Yeah, you know, when you stress defense, those defensive plays will help you get points on the offensive side as well. And so if you can play a strong defense, that could at times help you, especially if you're in a slump or not shooting well.
Lai Jinzong will be the crew chief of this afternoon's officiating staff. They're the man in the middle. Now we're bringing you the starting lineup from left to right. It's Jeremy Lin with Gokul Nitasen, Cho Bozang, number 14, and number 23, Lansov, along with the debut of Wendell Lewis. And for the pass, they made a slight adjustment. Number 69, Lu Junxiang, number 28, Su Jinyao. Huang Hohan will be getting the start next to Ling Zhen and Jason Washburn. Jason Washburn came off the bench in yesterday's game, and it's only his third start of the season. He, in fact, his first two appearances were in starts, and that was all the way back in November 20th. So choosing to go with Washburn and Sakakini for 2 straight games, Jeffrey Curtis Ayers not seeing action for 2 straight weeks. Well, the Steelers in their South Side jerseys, the Pilots in the TYP Valentines, as we have our ceremonial tip. The Pilots so far in the season series are 3-1 against the Steelers, but that last one was the 30-point victory by the road team, the Steelers. Yes, Wen, the foundation chairman, not really briefed on the ceremonial tip. Now it's up and we're ready to go. So as mentioned, Jeremy will be playing, was out last week with the little bit of a stomach flu, though he also didn't give up on playing on the second day where the Steelers had that 7 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. turnaround. The tip is up and won by the Pilots. It's Huang Honghuan getting the start. It is his 20th start after 4 straight games coming off the bench. The double Washburn, he still goes baseline, then middle, and makes the push shot there. They got the switch. He's dumping it down to Lewis, who's unable to finish. Little through pass. Lu Junxiang takes the contact, puts it up and in.
See if the Pilots are able to produce their tough defense that they've been known for all season.
Lansov misses the 3, but Lewis with his first rebound. That 50-50 ball, though, won by Justin. Down to Washburn. He's guarded by Lansov, though. A 25-centimeter height difference is Lu Junxiang too strong with it, but gets his own board. Kind of runs into the defense for a loose ball foul.
Lewis is looking a little sluggish out there, maybe trying to get his legs out from underneath him, and maybe suffering a little bit from jet lag. I know it usually takes me about 2 weeks to
2 weeks
to come back around.
We can't have you go traveling abroad for the rest of the basketball season then. So sideline out of bounds. Ayao with an errant pass to Kaohsiung. I was about to say the Pilots have one of their best starts of the game, but then they turned it over like that. Jeremy lining one up. The shot, no good. Lassoff with a nice high jump and picks up the board. Another miss as Lewis, third opportunity, is finally a score.
Nice putback by Lewis. Good way to get your first points in this league. And so now everybody's ready to go.
Hook pass as Linton is the recipient. Jeremy on the handoff, takes his tumble, and the contact is going to be called a foul as there was a lot of contact during and after.
Watch the. Oh, that's. Got to keep that playing as a defensive player.
Errant pass, but Gokul Natason there to pick it up. He's making moves and his shot is no good.
The team's struggling a little bit from the outside. If they look to take it down low.
Nice steal by Natason as he avoids the defense, but the pass causing a little trouble as Jeremy Lin is blocked at the hoop.
Might have had a little touch on the way up to lose that ball.
But it's Justin Kaohsiung with the corner three. And pretty quickly, we got a whistle coming from the scorer's table. So a good start for the Pilots, who definitely struggled from the jump in a lot of games, but an early Steelers timeout to try to stem the tide. We'll be going to our first break of the game and back after this.
怒吼 Camp 跟我们线上的朋友们打声招呼。
拍到球迷朋友的话，就大声跟我们的荧幕的球员一起定恩地，就像他们两位面目狰狞就对了。来喽！
可爱的怒吼非常好，谢谢。兄弟，来一个怒吼，来一个怒吼吧！哎呦，这个准备好了，准备好了。跟我们丁恩迪说再大声一点。同学，郑阳的学弟 ，Very good，Hello， 怒吼一下，爸爸非常的帅，妹妹你好。
Welcome back to our broadcast. First time out is our reminder to be sure to like the PLEAGUE stream every time you open it. It's the Pauian Pilots up 9-2 against the Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers. And of course, the last time they met, they had a very, shall we say, back and forth game with the Pilots setting a new low for halftime scoring, but then the Steelers also tying a low mark for individual quarter scoring, which in the end, it was a Steelers victory. But from what we talked about, it seemed like a kind of hard gauge of the two teams' form at the time and current form even.
Right. Trying to get some playmakers out there and get some open shots and looks.
To the basket and a miss as Lewis can't make the putback, but there's a foul call. The Pilots were in a little bit of a scramble.
Lewis is definitely able to get the rebounds down there. He's just not able to finish. So hopefully get a little bit more comfortable with this group and be able to put those back easily.
So he'll be stepping up to the line for the first time. Graduate of Mississippi State, then went on to Alabama State for his master's. The only Steeler to score so far in the game. No personnel changes for either team. They want to get Washburn isolated on Lansoff. Pauian. Not seen that much playing time of recent, save for this back-to-back perhaps. 3 seconds to go. Washburn puts it up and off the front iron. Jeremy on the screen now fires it away. Pauian though choosing the mid-range and it's short.
Got a good look there. You know, Jeremy having the ball in his hands is going to open up opportunities for other players, especially when he drives.
Ball out of bounds off to the Pilots as Pauian will check out for fellow point guard of the Steelers in Taoyuan. And right away, the Steelers turn it over on the deep pass intended for number 7. Again, Washburn, but this time iced on the side. Turnaround hook shot, fouled on the way up.
That is the 4th time they've gone down to Washburn in that low post right there. Let him have the opportunity to work. That time he was fouled.
And the help that came over against Lansoff. Softball only 195 centimeters. Washburn is the tallest Pilot at 213 centimeters. Of course, with also additional wingspan to his advantage. Makes the first free throw. He had 21 points off the bench yesterday, leading the Pilots in scoring. That's about his season average. We expect a near capacity crowd, and they are dead silent as this free throw is missed.
It's a really quiet crowd today, not knowing how to respond right now.
Patient waiting for the screen as Chen blitzes. He dribbles around it. Tip pass. Lansoff from the corner. As Lewis has grabbed another offensive board, and the crash through and a 4-point play coming up. Now having a rough game yesterday is not having a good start here.
Lewis again with the rebound. He's able to kick it back out for that shot. Good look.
Could be a little embellishment, but Sujiao's got to be a lot smarter than that on the closeout.
Might have touched his hand on the follow through.
So it's Matayson with the 3 and the extra credit. Now it's Sakakini's turn to post up Lansoff, but they pass out of it in the repost. Pauian will try from 3, it's bounced out. Very uninspiring low post offense by the Pilots so far.
They keep going down to that low post, trying to work it in.
Jeremy Lin swishes it on the floater. Looks like Washburn went down and the referees granted quick stoppage, so Lin probably also trying to get an and one after that, but maybe Washburn is doing the consultation and get another look. A little scary moment there. Yeah. Hopefully both guys will be all right for the rest of the way. They are both going to stay in the game.
He did jump into him on the follow through. Might have came down and tweaked his ankle a little bit. Looks like he's up and he's good though. second time, Jeremy was looking for a call on a shot attempt that he felt like he was fouled on.
This time they are looking for Sonny on the other side, but with much color Sunsiyao on him. Turn around for Sakakini is buried. They had a couple of those in yesterday's game.
Definitely working that low post, looking for that mismatch in size.
Darren got the switch on Sakakini. Getting it back, rifling a pass over as Taoyuan goes to the cup. (12-2) for the Pilots with 6 minutes in the books already. To Lu Zhixiang, wide open for three, another one.
Good look by Justin Liu. Hit that three right there.
On the skip pass, no less, as the Steelers send a lot of help into the middle. Now it's Natason pulling up. Might have been touched on that one, but the referees are going to just say out of bounds.
It's nice to have a big that once they get it down in the post, they can look opposite for that wing that's out there looking for the three.
Steelers are going to go all local now as a goofy-looking Captain Liu finally puts his shorts on.
Take a little time to get adjusted there.
So 2 imports for the Pilots, none for the Steelers in an interesting rotational situation. Out to Sakakini, a little driving kick, but the passes are not on point. And they're leaving 2 wide open. They tap it away, and the Steelers get it on a turnover as Pauian crashes into Jeremy. And he is definitely, in the sense, the enforcer for the Pilots. And Jeremy smartly asking about an intentional foul. Well, maybe Pauian knew he was going to get subbed out, so he needed to take that foul.
Definitely making Jeremy earn it today. They're not letting him. Doesn't have an easy go anytime he gets possession of the ball.
Another foul on Sijingyao as the Steelers will be shooting free throws from now on. Just like that, Jeremy Lin now stepping up to the free throw line. Meanwhile, the Steelers have only committed 2 team fouls of their own. So quickly now the Steelers have the edge in free throw attempts and free throw makes.
Steelers going down on the defensive side. One of the things that we talked about earlier was having Jeremy wanted his team to talk more. So we'll see if
Jason
they're
Washburn, though, not much communicating on that play. Dumps it home for 2.
See if they're able to talk a little bit more on defense.
For the mid-range, Jeremy Lin's got the soft touch.
Jeremy's finding those openings now, so he's starting to take those shots.
He will not be eligible for statistical leading of the league, but he is currently 3rd at 23.6 points per game. The Steelers in the zone defense as the Pilots try to get organized. Sakakini, another turnaround jumper. This one missed, and here come the Steelers, spoiled by Justin's tap out of bounds.
Once Jeremy starts to find his touch, that's also going to open up other players as they have to help out when he gets in, especially when he gets into the paint, so that he can drive it and kick it out. So generate more offense for others.
Got Xiaobai in the air, and it will be Sakakini who will push it up ahead. Open, but they'll run their offense instead. Now from the left side, Ethan with a missed shot got his own board. Washburn's turn, and he splashes it. Having some words for the audiences across from the bench.
nice seeing a big man shooting a three. Style of basketball we were talking about earlier.
He's a 30% three-point shooter, which would be fourth on the Pilots. A little backdoor play as Taoyuan can't get the shot off. They call a illegal screen by Sun Ziyao. Saw a lot of illegal screens in yesterday's game between the Dreamers and Pilots. Another look at Washburn making the three, now heading toward the bench. A little bit of a boxing one as Wu Xiang is fouled going to the cup. I'd say pretty quick recognition by the Pilots to figure out where they can attack with momentum to get that foul. Sinks the first one. The Pilots, during this lull, have 9 straight games where their locals have not shot above average efficiency-wise. Their last time was February 7th, was where the locals scoring on 44% of their field goal attempts against the Lioneers. So it would certainly help their chances if a lot more guys can get involved and score efficiently. Lewis is back in, partially blocked.
Yeah, it's tough when you have to rely on just a couple players to score because everybody else's percentages are down. So if you have a more spread out, just a higher percentage for everybody, it makes it easy on, obviously, on the team.
Pompo will try from three as Lewis showing off some of his hops. His rebounding prowess is showing off early and often now. Lansofo will get a corner opportunity and he buries it.
Good look on that open corner three right there.
And that time created by their point guard, penetrating the defense.
They just have to cut down the silly turnovers. They've got 2 of them that are just really could have been avoided.
Taoyuan goes down. It looked like he might have turned his ankle as Xiaobai was trying to make a move on him. Now we're on to see. And the Steelers also don't have one of their other guards registered for the game. Wang Yuxiang has been dealing with ankle injuries recently, and there's another look.
Landed on Lewis's foot as he was cutting through, guarding his man. Yeah, he brought that left ankle all the way down and it touched the floor.
Certainly a little scary as lots of Steelers come over to help their backup point guard off the floor. The Steelers also have number 2, Jamarcus, a possible candidate to play number 1, as we've seen previously. Tianhao not going down all the way on the ankles, but kind of the way it twists is what kind of concerns you. He'll go right away, and we'll see if they ice it up or kind of get some rehab going.
Yeah, try to wrap it up a little tight, keep that swelling down on it for the meantime.
Captain Liu Lu, a little bit of an elbow touch. And Jeremy out to Natason. The shot is good.
Jeremy with the assist there again. Penetration with the kick out. Nice looking shot.
Sakakini, backdoor. Zanzaya blocked by Jeremy.
Nice read on the help defense coming across by Jeremy.
Now Lewis with a right hook, no. Those are the kind of baskets we were talking about that the Pilots were getting early in the season when other teams were a little over-concerned with the over-the-top defense and not getting backdoor. Tip pass as Pong Pong with a right hook. 3 bounces and out. Chance for the Steelers to run. Jeremy with finesse, but could not get the finish. With about a minute to go, it's the Pilots up by 5. decent screen, but it doesn't free up Ethan. Sakakini from the elbow. Pauian, the quick fire release as Taoyuan gets 2 in the air, and another block by Jeremy.
Came in, got the rebound, but Jeremy was there to...
You know, that's the one stat I didn't prepare, is he's doing a great job scoring, rebounding even, and assisting, but...
How many blocks has he got?
He averages about less than a block a game, as we got a foul on the sidelines, as the aforementioned Jeremy on all fours. Fouled by another pilot in transition. I think that was on something, yeah. That'll send Jeremy to the line as there's an off-ball foul in a dangerous spot close to the LED boards.
Had a little assistance on that. Falling out of bounds right there. Heavy thought he was going to receive the pass on that cut, so he was trying to get in the passing lane there.
Jeremy is one of the leaders on the Steelers in terms of free throws. 85 percentage points. And that make, and one more coming up. The Steelers have so far been perfect from the line. When it comes to that block number, indeed less than one. It's actually a fifth of a block per game, but it's going to go up after today.
Right, after today, it'll increase a little bit. And it's not even into the first quarter yet, so we'll see how many he ends up with.
Boom, extra elevation on the shot, and Pauian, look what I found.
Just handled on that rebound. Fell right into his hands for the easy layup.
The last shot opportunity for the Steelers. Jeremy out to Natason from way deep. That one is tapped out of bounds. Looks like the Steelers will hang on to it.
Should get something up for this last 4 seconds.
And a quick personnel change to get the much taller Washburn in. Definitely don't want to give up an offensive board.
We can see, we have seen that Lewis is able to get those boards. So
from way deep, but Natason off the mark. And so the first quarter is in the books. The Pilots still have the lead, 27-22, trying to avenge that big loss against the Steelers a couple weeks ago, right here in Taoyuan.
机 Mika， 气质系的可乔，全队最小资的尤米，欢迎他们！欢迎 Pilots Crew。谢谢 Pilots Crew。现在呢，邀请我们所有乘客球员朋友们举高你的双手。Pilots Crew 要来发中场游戏的信物，如果你想参加的话，举高你的双手，让他们看到你。让小童看到你在哪里，让佩佩看到你在哪。让 Taco 看到你在哪里。想参加中场游戏的朋友们，
Welcome back to the broadcast. We are just about to begin the second quarter, but it's our chance to preview the next game. It's Reddy versus Bill on the poster for the Lioneers-Braves matchup coming up at 5 p.m. Those are the two mascots for their respective teams who, interestingly enough, kind of have a little bit of a friendly social media beef going on. One thing that has come and gone with our trade and signing deadline is now we get to kind of take a step back and evaluate imports. For the Pilots, the story's a lot easier. They only had to say goodbye to Richie Rivero, who participated in the preseason, but they've stuck with the same three all season and will stick with the same three for the rest of the way. Meanwhile, the Steelers last season had as many as 5 between Anthony Tucker, Manny Harris, Anthony Bennett, Taylor Braun, and Keith Benson. But this year, the Steelers are on their 9th import, 8 in the regular season. And if you're talking about duos of 2, their 10th and perhaps 11th coming up in the season. And you see Taoyuan will be out for at least, maybe it looks like the rest of the game, having already iced that ankle.
Yeah, it's tough when you have that many imports coming in and out to establish a good team chemistry and dynamic. And so hopefully these last 13 games that they have remaining, they'll be able to put it together and finish strong.
Captain Liu Jinlu knocks down the 3 from the top. There's one of those classic driving kicks by the Steelers where if you just relocate in the right spot, you'll be open. Sakakini, a long touch, finally gives it up. Tripped on the way down and is blocked. Mason trying to go to the left side. An easy stop for the Pilots until Lewis called for 3 seconds there.
That might have been the one, instead of going 1-on-2, he popped it out to Captain Lou for his second 3-pointer attempt in a row.
Another look at that rotation there. Referees want to swap out the ball as you see the stopping power of Pong Pong and Huang Hong. Enough to deter 2 imports by the Steelers. Little back door as Sonny takes the contact and finishes through the and one. That'll be big as it is the 3rd foul on Wendell Lewis's debut here.
Interesting to see if they sub him with those 3 fouls.
Looking at the Steelers bench, Lan Xiaofu is heading toward the scorer's table. As Sakakini finishes the 3-point play. Indeed, he'll go to the bench. We have 11 minutes to play in the first half.
Steelers going to need to really protect that rim and get those rebounds without Lewis in there.
Jeremy Lin with a fadeaway. Long rebound to Justin. Another foul on the drive.
I think they'll give him 2 shots on the foul.
Called on a Tyson who reached from behind. Well, Lu Junxiang in yesterday's game was the top local scorer for the Pilots with 18 points. Was the first ever back-to-back Porsche Plus League Month MVP. It's kind of a contest between him and Byron Mullins, who won the first one and the most recent one of the Plus League 3rd season. The lead is now up to 7 points. Tyson giving pressure from way outside, respecting his range. Getting it back from Lan Xiaofu, he lets it fly. those relocation threes are turning into some of the more difficult footwork and shoulder alignment assignments as Sakakini throws it over ahead of Hong Han.
Yeah, those are hard to get with your feet set and get your body facing the basket. Sometimes you have to adjust in midair, and that just takes your shot off.
Jeremy tripped up as he was passing. Saka switch on Sakakini, but it's Sun Siyao from the corner and the post, and now from 45, another three. Captain Luke, cool with it, keeping his team in the game.
You know, Captain Luke can shoot the three, so if he starts to get hot, that's going to definitely help the Steelers.
Having it down second year with the team, but plenty of time to make it up as Sakakini trying to go with power. He will go to the line. Lu, not clean on the block, they say. A lot of risk there before touching the basketball.
Yeah, it looks like he hit the wrist on the way up. After that, though, it looks like he was on the ball and it was clean. But that initial hit of the wrist.
And then the made free throw for Sakakini. Last year was under head coach Yergi Caminos in another team in Taiwan, and some of his former teammates are, in fact, now with the Steelers. Between Cho Bo-zong and Sun Siyao, or his nickname Mouse. They'll go to the bench for Jason Washburn. Matheson going downhill. They find their outlets, but it's Jeremy Lin with a free lane.
Again, Jeremy found that hole in the defense and was able to capitalize on it. But
he leads the Steelers with 10 points as Xiaobai, a little tripped up there.
Just let that one go.
Now they try the three, no. Jeremy passed one with a layup, but leaves it short. Smart by Xiaobai, avoiding Captain Lu's steal attempt, as the Pilots have not done a great job in their half-court offense, and foul calls are the main thing that's creating their scores.
They're struggling definitely down here on this offensive end. If it's not a drive and a kick or just a drive, they're having a hard time putting the ball in the basket. Like to use the word discombobulated.
Very quickly, it's 14 fouls for the Steelers, none by the Pilots. Poked away, Cho Bo-zong has one man to beat and able to finish with the left hand. And now it's the Pilots who will be calling a timeout early in the quarter. They're able to take advantage of some personnel. They'll have to go to the bench and talk it over. We have a break, and these messages coming up for you. Pilots Crew
暂停时间到 ，extra time 哦。
Welcome back to the broadcast. For a little bit of context, we're talking about maybe the Pilots locals needing to step up the score. During their winning streak, their locals are scoring 41% of their field goals. And of course, as mentioned, they were under 40% for many of their games in this most recent stretch. But right now, their form is not so good. Meanwhile, on the Steelers side, they're certainly looking a lot more organized with Jeremy Lin, one of the 5 out there, no matter if he's a catch-and-shoot guy or if he's a catch-and-drive guy or if he's the one with the first dribble penetration.
He's definitely being the playmaker out there to generate the offense. They have Lewis back in now with his 3 fouls.
A little bit of a zone look as the Pilots have Lu Junxiang at the very top. Now it's a little bit more man as they don't really respect the shooters on the outside. A left-handed, underhanded shot. And a quick turnover, Xiaobai over the head as another layup for 69. Mishap for the Steelers. I mean, they're down by 6. Jeremy in the paint to Lewis, but off the front iron. Taoyuan, fresh in the game, got his first board.
But now the Steelers' offense is a little stale. They're trying to, I don't know if they're just standing around, they're tired. If Jeremy's not able to score, then they really...
Washburn trying to spin through the contact. No good. Out to Captain Liu, but it's short. Grazes off the front iron, a running chance for the Pilots. Now in man defense, Washburn from mid-range, yes. Coach Tony Dunn has seen enough. He wants to call a timeout of his own.
Washburn with the look on the short corner right there.
That would be the weakness in the zone, especially for if a 7-footer here is turning around to shoot the basketball. So far in this second quarter, the Steelers have seen this lead increased ever so slightly, back up to 8 points as Jeremy Lin, 23.6 points per game and 9.2 rebounds per game, 7.2 assists per game. Assists would be also #1 in the league. And the Steelers' record is 3-2. And to the rest of the team's credit, they were able to take 1 win against the Braves before the aforementioned very quick turnaround against the Lioneers, which they did drop, but relatively speaking, losing your newly minted leader, I have to say they did pretty well in that back-to-back last weekend.
Yeah, they played well to earn that 1-1, and so come off of that good weekend and try to have a good game today. Again, this is the long stretch to the, or short stretch, excuse me, to the playoffs. They're trying to make it in, and so they can't afford to lose many games.
The Steelers only play the Pilots once for this week's preparation. Meanwhile, the Pilots actually had last week entirely off. So in a little interesting bit of scheduling, there you see Taoyuan icing that ankle. Presumably he'll be done for the rest of the afternoon as Matayson struggling to get across the timeline. Looks like we have a scores table issue as the shot clock did not start until he had possession about the jump circle. Just a quick reset with the sideline out of bounds. In the second quarter, the Steelers have not had a single free throw opportunity. Meanwhile, the Pilots are 5 for 5.
Starting to see that tough pilot defense that they're known for. Just on you. As soon as you get the ball, they are on you. You just don't have a lot of time. There's a lot of pressure.
Loose ball foul by Justin. Now it's Tony Ray's job to guard Jeremy. Catching it in the corner, but he's going to get doubled. Out to Lewis, who spins around and foul from behind.
A good spin move down on the baseline right there for the attempted layup.
You would Washburn out to the double team. Don't have any rim protection left. So a tough spot for Portell to be in. Free throws coming up for number 5, Wendell Lewis. Previous number 5 for the Steelers was a former Steeler and a former pilot in Angry Bird, Pong Jun-yen. He's then moved on to another team in Taiwan. Funny enough, Caminos and Sakakini's former team in another league. After those free throws, 34 for the Steelers, 40 for the Pilots. As that zone is very shrunken. Close range, another Washburn score.
The drive and the penetration today is producing a lot of opportunities for both teams.
Foul by Tony Ray, reaching on the pass.
Justin was penetrating on that shot. Look back real quick.
You say Lu Junxiang with the assist. Tony Ray sliding his feet as Lansoff through to Lewis. Not quite on the same page. Out to Jeremy Lin, overshoots it. That would be the first time in the Plus League, quote unquote, happened. Well, we have our quick reset. And our reminder to the fans that you are definitely not allowed to be on the basketball court during play and for certain times when the clock is stopped as well.
Didn't realize the person ran right by us. Couldn't figure out what was going on.
Well, if you need a little bit of reset, it is 42 for the Pilots, 34 for the Steelers. As Jamarcus will make it onto the floor for the first time. Pass, but Xiaobai gets the shot off, and he again is off the mark. And another take foul by Tony Ray with Natason making a move.
A hold and a little bit of a reach in from behind that foul. Got to slide your feet. But using arms to keep him in position.
He steps out of bounds, making a move against Sakakini. Starting from way up top, Washburn at the high post with Sakakini in a little bit of a wrestling match against Lansoff. Blocked by Jamarcus, and he's on the break. 2-on-1 with Natason as Lucian's got the contest and foul on the rebound.
Over the back on Ethan.
good a show of athleticism a couple times as Xiao Bai over the back. Good call by you.
Over back and a little push in the back.
Free throw is coming up for number 2, Zhang Jiewei. His surname in Mandarin coming, as he's told, from his girlfriend, a Taiwanese lady. And the Steelers continue to convert at a very high percentage. In fact, they are still perfect now, 10 for 10. Another look at that 2-on-1 break.
It looked like O'Toole just didn't have any lift in his layup right there. Once he got bumped, he wasn't able to finish the shot.
He turns it over on the drive this time as Jeremy Lin in front of Washburn can't convert. Looks like 69 might need some talcum powder as they're looking for Sakakini on the low post. Getting a rare opportunity. It's Lin Ziwei who was blocked at the rim by Lan Shaofu. Marcus from mid-range, another miss. A little bit of a lid on the basket situation now.
It was a good look. He came down. It was open. Just wasn't able to convert it.
Sakakini trying to finish through contact. He can't. Wu Zhenlu. No good, but a second chance from the rookie on the rebound. Driving kick, Lan Shaofu from the left corner.
Let's go, Pilots!
Sakakini on the turnaround, grazes off the iron. Both teams definitely want to play fast, but as you can say, they're also both getting back on defense to deny some fast break opportunities.
Right, they're not helping the offensive side by getting back. It's been offensive team has to stop and get into the half.
This time, Lan Shaofu airballs it. 2.5 minutes to go. Justin is calling for a high screen and roll. The Washburn up top, beating the buzzer. Lin Ziwei does a pretty decent job slowing down Jeremy until he crosses over. Now a step in. Lan Shaofu this time drills the shot. Another timeout by the Pilots as they want to finish strong with 108 seconds left in the first half. Well, the Pilots have gone away from that post-up game early that they kept on going with. But now their durable penetrations being stopped by the Steelers, really packing in the paint. For example, Lan Shaofu kind of catching Lin Ziwei, who was losing the handle on the way up. And smart of Lan Shaofu to make the adjustment to bring it to with his own comfortable range there.
Yeah, they did start the game looking in that low post for Washburn, and it worked a couple times. And as you said, it's gone away. So maybe they need to go back and look for Washburn or down there in that low post. And once he gets it, he can kick out and look for that open shot again.
For a little context, Lan Shaofu is a 29% three-point shooter. And obviously a little harder to tell from just 2 points, but he's a 49% two-point shooter. Doesn't quite speak to the range, but that's one of those in-game adjustments that Masalfu is smart enough and more aware enough to make. Jeremy Lin will be sitting for at least the next stretch.
Steelers applying a little three-quarter pressure.
Sakakini loses the ball. And Lewis to Jamarcus, who misses it from close. Another opportunity poked out of bounds. They say it's going to stay with the Steelers.
They've had several looks right down there in the paint. They're just not able to convert. Getting down and getting the rebounds. Just the Pilots are able to recover and put a little pressure on those shots right there.
Swensi Yao can't get the shot from up close with Natason, an overlapping offensive player who was open in the paint.
It's like he didn't have a good grip on it when he went up, so he wasn't able to just bring it completely up for that shot.
Another, excuse me, foul. It's the second on Natason.
That's a close one. Looks like it might have been all ball, but it was called, so 2 shots it is.
Wu Junxiang after the first one.
On those plays, you like to see the player sort of step out and hedge instead of reaching in. Just let that offensive player think he's going to come over. Maybe mess up on that dribble or something instead of reaching in. Playing a little better defense.
He now has a game-high 18 points after 2. Leads the way, or Wayne getting switched off. Catching Liu with the awkward push shot. Lewis missing the close putback. He had the space as Zue missing his own fast break layup and a loose ball foul by Washburn.
Yeah, he's just not able. Lewis is not able to finish down in the paint. He's getting there and getting the rebounds. Definitely doing that, but he's just not able to put the ball into the basket. Looks like he's a little frustrated. Hopefully he'll be able to put one in here pretty soon. Get that over with. He's making the free throws. Just not able to make the shots.
A slew of substitutions for both teams. Jeremy's in for the Steelers, and Tanzania is in for the Pilots. Jason changes free throw motion there. That's the first miss by the Steelers at the charity stripe. Does not quite make the adjustment. Now a 2-for-1 opportunity coming up for the Pilots. Sakakini, high ball screen. And pops for 3, got it.
Nice screen and pop there. And that again, another big man shooting a nice looking 3.
Jeremy, out to Natason. He'll try to answer, no. Lewis chases down the board, and now these Steelers can pretty much ice the half. Now screens. Sakakini closing down the space. Jeremy Lin with a nice finger roll. Ifai Xiaobai doesn't go in. That'll be the end of the first half. 47-40 for the home Pilots, the Steelers, trying to get another victory on the road and keep a chance for the Plus League playoffs. We'll be back after this halftime commercial.
Don't think about it, just move your body. Listen to the music, sing oh yeah, oh. Just move those left feet, go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh yeah, oh. Show the world you got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do, prove to them you got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. I'm better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. I bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, yeah. I feel better when I'm dancing. I'm better when I'm dancing. Hey, oh yeah. I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Don't you know we can do this together? Bet you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, I feel better when I'm dancing. I'm better when I'm dancing. Hey, feel better when I'm, yeah, yeah.
谢谢 Pilots Crew，谢谢 Pilots Crew 带来精彩热情的舞蹈，再次给 Pilots Crew 掌声鼓励。
It wasn't easy to get the cash, but I got it. All the whips exotic.
好的，谢谢大家上半场的努力，我们即将要来进行中场游戏。那今天呢，中场游戏的胜利者可以获得2张台湾国际打击乐节的门票。那今天的中场游戏呢，跟昨天呢的规则一样，我们会请3位参加的乘客背对坐在场中，后面有一颗球。 老师呢会出3题音乐题，如果你听到前奏，你知道歌名的话，站起来抢球，去上篮回来中圈呢，讲出正确歌名，就算答对1题啦。好了，我们先邀请我们3位参加的乘客上台，欢迎我们小朋友。
It's halftime here from the Taoyuan Arena on an afternoon game, so we have a lot of natural lighting in the building, but they have turned on the stadium lights. We'll see if that'll take any effect. It's Aaron Zhang Yaozong, or excuse me, Eddie Zhang Yaozong and Aaron Yang Zhenlei on the Mandarin broadcast. Ryan Chen and Darren Portell taking care of you on the English broadcast. There's the combined team statistics there on screen. The Pilots have a 7-point lead. They're shooting the basketball certainly much more efficiently and same number of made threes. And though on the bottom turnovers, the Pilots have 8. But Darren, I got the feeling that they want to stay aggressive, trying to get the ball inside against the Steelers and create the easiest three-point opportunities that they can, those pass outs or driving kicks to a catch and shoot opportunity.
Right, especially with Lewis having 3 fouls. They look like to go down and get it in Washburn and then kick it out to either Justin or somebody else that's open. And so, you know, that could be their focus.
Meanwhile, on the Steelers side, their primary strategy is, as we know, a lot of ball screen and rolls. Jeremy being, of course, the primary guy, he leads them in scoring. We'll get to that list in the second segment. And the Pilots are doing a much better job in this game compared to their last matchup against the Steelers, where they went down as much as 40 in the first half. They've gone to the line a lot in the first quarter. That kind of dried up in the second quarter, indicative of some of the adjustments both teams are making.
Yeah, it's the second quarter. Both teams have just sort of made a little bit of adjustments. And, even though they scored 40, 47 points, it's just been a little bit harder to find the good looks and the good shots.
And one thing to be said, the Steelers only have 7 assists. You know that they want to be sharing the basketball, but forced to make a lot of one-on-one moves against the Pilots defense. And that's not easy with how tough they've been all season, guarding the strongest scorers, but obviously having to struggle against some of the more organized team offenses. Chobozan getting the start, taking advantage of one layup, but then having his pocket picks for that second layup. The import scoring will be interesting to see. Goku, of course, has the plus range, and Lewis obviously trying to find his footing in his plus league debut. Meanwhile, Washburn and Sakakini have been with the Pilots for the whole time, so their comfortability is kind of showing so far. We'll be going to a break before coming back with our second segment at halftime.
乘客球迷朋友们也别气馁，我们也有我们的参加奖。好，稍等一下。好，请看我们中间，我们来合照一张。弟弟要不要把口罩脱掉？
活出自己的样子，
难得。
梦想。
3、2、1，
黑松沙士。
再一次哦，看前面，3、2、1，耶！好的，恭喜我们乘客球迷朋友们参加，谢谢。好的，谢谢。好，上半场的比赛非常的精彩，那大家呢稍作休息，我们下半场很快就回来，谢谢大家。
Streets made of gold. Let's go bombs away to brighter days. Let's live in the moment. Go dip our toes and make a great escape. Let's go bombs away and make our great escape. Just you and me. Living in a daydream. Let's go.
Panasonic。Hockey 好棒棒奖。好棒来了！棒棒棒棒棒棒，你真好，谢谢谢谢。好棒棒的你，值得好棒棒的 Hockey。Hockey 好棒棒奖。棒棒棒棒棒棒，你真好棒棒。好棒棒的你，值得好棒棒的 Hockey。Hockey 好棒棒奖。等一下。
The really fancy Jeremy Lin memorabilia is now showing up at the various Plus League home arenas. As it is just announced, it is a sellout crowd here in a Taoyuan arena for the second matchup of the Pilots and Steelers, with a certain number 7 in the lineup, in the rosters. His team is down by 7 points against the Taoyuan Pilots, who started the season really hot. In fact, set the league record with 10 straight wins in the earlier parts of the season, but have kind of found some of their struggles of recent. But meanwhile, the Steelers obviously need to get on a hot streak themselves for even a chance to sniff at the Plus League playoffs. Playing better is maybe what the Steelers fans and certainly what Jeremy Lin fans want to see out of their team, but they really got to play a lot cleaner and be a lot more precise with everything they do. And in the first half, it was not quite the case. They packed it in defensively, but on offense, their strategy seems to be really keyed in by the Pilots defense.
Right, you know, the Steelers, they really focused on the points that they were making. They were focused on driving and kicking, and outside of that, they really struggled to look and find any kind of other kind of offense to generate. And so they're going to have to make those shots in the paint that they missed often, and they can't rely on Jeremy to produce all of their offense.
Well, he does lead them in scoring with 12 points. He also has 5 rebounds and, of course, as we know, 2 blocks, which is not what we were expecting coming on the scouting report, but certainly any way that helps the team. Followed by Goku Natasen, 7 points. Wendell Lewis in his Plus League debut, 6 points, 4 for 4 from the line. Captain Lu knocked down a couple of threes. Meanwhile, on the Pilot side, it's Justin Wujingshan with 18, Sunny Sakakini with 13, and Jason Washburn with 12. The rest of the guys only have 4 combined points, but you got a sense that they've also made their adjustments on the offensive end. Sakakini, a good passer from the low post, but they're finding enough space to drive like Justin there you see on screen, and maybe other players will have their opportunities later in the game, but Wujingshan's threat to shoot the basketball also creates his own driving opportunities like modern basketball has all the time. We'll be doing a last break in 3 minutes before the start of the second half.
努力做别人的员工，是因为想当自己的老板，活出自己的样子，梦想上路。黑松沙士。
我们乘客球迷朋友们，请速的安全入座。我们下半场的比赛呢，即将在30秒后开始。
上半场2节正面对决，目前地主桃园浦原领航员7分，来领先今天高雄来访客队1期直播钢铁人。赛事即将进入下半场，两队依然换边再战，希望桃园浦原领航员在乘客的呐喊加油声中，持续的保持胜利，直到比赛10分钟了。I can't tell, I'm only a man. I give up almost half, I make the payback on the side.
我们的大汉回到场上了 ，Watchman 回到场上，空鹏也回到场上了，阿瑶也回到场上了，巨翔回到场上了。下半场比赛即将开始。
We're about ready to go in this one, but the game coming up is the Lioneers versus the Braves, or it's Ready versus Bill, the mascots of the two teams at Huping Gymnasium in Taipei. Fans are scurrying back to their seats as the referees will wait for our broadcast colleagues to get all set. It's the starting lineup for the Pilots, but Pong Pong in there for Lincoln. And it's the starters for the Steelers as Washburn's got a post up on Lewis. Pong Pong from center field, a bucket for number 15.
It's almost as if they came out with that set play looking for that three at the top of the key, and so he was open and he shot it and he hit it.
I'd have to agree with you. Lewis spinning around Pong Pong, and there's a two-handed slam. That's probably the way he wanted to make his debut with the Plus in a new league.
That's the second time he's had a good move on the baseline, and that time he finished with a nice dunk. Definitely has some quickness down there in the post.
They're looking for Washburn again. Fading away off the mark as Natason fights Pauian for the rebound.
It's a good block out right there to get that rebound.
They got the switch, the drive, and around Washburn.
Both teams are coming out now looking to score and doing a good job getting those shooting percentages up a little bit.
Pong Pong and Justin on the side. There's a foul on the shot attempt. Get another look at Lewis spinning and a perfect footwork on that dunk. And then Natason laying it up before Washburn can come with the help.
It's nice that he used the left hand on that layup. Might have had it blocked if it was on the right.
Now a perfect set for 7 at the line after that make. But there's the broadcaster's jinx, says that's in and out. Jeremy stepping out for a deep three. He rolls it in. Wouldn't mind if Jeremy Lin takes over the game. That time a double high ball screen. Go screen by Ayao. Pong Pong who relocates. Short with it, and again, Natason with the board.
Pong Pong is definitely not afraid to take that three if he's open.
And another one. This time all net. Closing in the gap against the Pilots.
He's trying to make a statement now. 2 in a row. You better bring somebody out on it. This is going to open up some other options. What the Steelers want.
Washburn, that shot touched up on the way up. And so it's a blown layup by Cho Po-zang. So Jeremy, can he go 3 for 3? He does. No timeout from the Pilots though, as the crowd is quite one-sided now.
They're going to play through this.
Lucky for them that touched it out of bounds, but Jeremy and Gokul Natason want an IRS replay. Has to be coming from the head coach though, who was pretty content with the Steelers playing some defense after 9 straight points from Jeremy Lin.
I think Gokul might have waved that instant replay opportunity off.
I see. Ayao from the right corner, no good. A little out of sorts. Pilots trying to get one stop against Jeremy Lin.
Lewis has got to be careful. Down in that paint, he's got 3 fouls.
That's a Gokul who pushes out to Jeremy from way deep. Another one! That's 4 in a row. And I would literally have the criticism the Pilots could have stopped this with a timeout.
Yep. He's definitely getting in the zone right now. He's feeling it.
Momentum stopped just by a foul from behind as the Pilots only electing to make substitutions here. That one from way deep as Washburn had a foot on the 3-point line. It wasn't good enough.
It's nice when you get into those times where you just, the rim seems like it's 3 times bigger than it is.
Out to Washburn, he swings it, but Ethan is stopped. So Justin will try from 3, and right now there's a problem with the right side basket. Pauian going to be called for travel there in between a shot and a pass. And finally, there's a timeout called by the Pilots. Little too late if you're asking this broadcaster. We'll be going to our first break of the second half. The Steelers have now taken the lead.
好的，准备看到我们的大荧幕。来跟我们的佩佩还有米卡一起做出怒吼的动作，可爱版的也可以。哇，耶，非常的好。
专业还知道脱口罩，专业。
跟我们沙尼一起来怒吼吧，兄弟们！叫出来，嗨！ Hello， 上电视了，弟弟，跟爸爸一起怒吼。Hello， 弟弟，你们上电视喽，非常棒，帅哥你上电视了，就是这样。Hello。
So 12 points for Jeremy Lin to start the third quarter. Ties Achi's entire second quarter production from yesterday afternoon's game, but maybe he has his sights on the Plus League individual quarter score of 21 points set by a number of Plus League players. He has his team up by 5, and the range gets further and further from the cup.
That's a good look, as we said earlier. If he keeps making these shots, they're going to have to come out and really guard him, which is going to open up the centers and open up the wings. Him to turn those shots into assists.
This time around, it's going to be Ethan Bialton tasked with guarding him the whole way and just trips him up. First foul by the Pilots on the quarter. Don't expect that to end.
Ethan's putting good pressure on him. Just reached in a little bit too much.
He recovers as Lansoff fires from the top, but it's in and out. Maybe one in the first half, though. He did take that step in that corner shot as there's a foul in transition.
They've got him on the reach in from behind on that pass. Didn't see his body on it.
Out to Justin, to Washburn, as they get reset. A little big-to-big screen. Sakakini will try. Washburn fighting through contact. He'll get the and one. While the Steelers trying to get a travel out of it, but it's Jason Washburn now, the tallest player in there. Does make it 3 points. So that's why you build up that cushion in the first half. Pilots now down by 2. Now another double screen. Jeremy trying to drive, but stopped by Washburn. Bozon gets into the mid-range again and airballs it. Also doesn't look good as he stumbled after the shot.
Yeah, might even had the little dump down to Lewis on that as the defender came to give a little help on the shot.
Over on the left side, Sakakini. It's going to be a foul, trying to play aggressively. Jeremy Lin trying to argue, but he did use both hands. If he only used the left hand, he probably could have got away with it, but
yeah, he did come across the...
He caught Sakakini's left hand.
Yeah.
Oh, got to watch out there.
Not the first time this game that he's been upset over a foul call. So, like I said, he's got to watch it. Don't voice your displeasure too much.
Under 7 minutes to go, the Steelers bringing Lewis back in. Wendell Lewis, that is, not Lewis Wong. That's going to be messing me up the rest of the season. They have too many Lou-related players on the team now. Jeremy got the ball screen to Captain Lou, avoids one defender to Lansall for long 2. Right back up with Wendell Lewis, adding to his point total.
Nice putback by Lewis on the rebound.
Sakakini, though, putting the Pilots up on top, 59-58.
Nice response by the Pilots to the putback by Lewis. Sakakini coming in with the 3.
Handoff game as Sakakini gets the strip. Little 2-on-1, trying to Euro and sending Jeremy Lin flying. Just the basket, no whistle. And now the Steelers reeling a little bit. Almost to the amazement of the Jeremy Lin fans in attendance. Stunning them a little bit.
Now that Jeremy's not shooting, they went away from their scoring.
Sakakini with another 3-pointer on the game. That brings his point total up to 20 points in a hurry. He's 3 for 4 shooting the 3 ball. Now, kind of in a relief for the Steelers is that only 4 Pilots have combined for 3-pointers made. The rest of the squad is 0 for 7. And of course, if they're going to start taking advantage of miscues on the offensive end and run, that'll put the Steelers in an even bigger hole. So for them offensively, they seem to be mixed between a few different strategies.
Yeah, both teams seem to be struggling offensively as a team. Each team has individuals that are scoring when given the opportunity, but as a whole, each team is struggling. So they got to continue looking for those different ways to produce points.
Pilots out of their timeout first. And the Steelers will bring in number 77, Tom Weber, in for the first time of the game. They do like to have some of these delayed entrances onto the court, the Steelers do.
It's nice to get a little fresh legs out there and get new look on offense.
Jamarcus will be running the point. Jeremy's stunned and into the defense of Xiaobai. He's got to defend again. Jamarcus got a corner. He's going. No, as Lewis at least got his hands on it, but the Pilots come away with the rebound.
So he had position, got his hand on it like you said, but he wasn't able to.
Putting Pauian to Ethan in the left corner. Another miss. Pauian got another board. Another opportunity for the Pilots, but they can't convert. Both imports.
That ball is just bouncing off the rim. They're short on their shots, and so
Washburn is trying to ask for a foul, but if you ask me, he and Sonny had plenty of opportunities down low. As you see, Pauian called for the wrap there with the right hand.
They shouldn't have gone to Santini. They should have been made on the first rebound.
Jeremy Lin trying again from three. He's incendiary.
And what was that, 5 threes on the quarter for him?
That is 5 threes, and it is a league record for individuals in a quarter. Washburn spins past one and got the lucky bounce there. It didn't look pretty, but the Pilots import finally scoring on the inside. Took it down the floor. Jeremy is fouled. Won't be a free throw chance as the Pilots had a foul to give, but take another look. One whole step, and for some reason the Pilots keep going under on these screens.
They've got to communicate better on those screens. Realize Jeremy's up top of the ball.
This time from the mid-post, off the fake. Well, he had 13 in the fourth quarter, as we mentioned in the last head-to-head matchup between these two teams. He's got 15 now. 4 minutes left.
The Steelers are just basically riding on his back. They're just allowing him to do whatever it takes to get their points.
Ball on the floor, and the Steelers get it out. As an unsportsmanlike was called, was players tangled up underneath. Looks like Jeremy's not even really the one Sakakini is all that mad with, who wants to plead his innocence with the referee. And that's definitely big, because Sakakini has accumulated a lot of special fouls on the season. Well, the referees will go to the monitor to look it up.
It's almost as if Jeremy was saying it wasn't as bad as what it looked also.
There are 5 special circumstances where a referee can call a unsportsmanlike foul versus a normal common foul. Those include fouls against the body and not against the basketball. Those, of course, if they're too violent or if it's above the shoulders and the head and neck area.
Right.
So let's see what's going on. He was behind Jeremy Lin.
I think they got their feet mixed up.
That right hand, though, that's definitely not something you want to be doing to risking it.
I don't know if that was intentional.
But it does satisfy the category of fouling a player who isn't even in the neighborhood of the basketball, and don't really have the excuse of saying he's reaching for the basketball as Jeremy was trying to make it up to the other way of the floor. And the referees are looking at it, but it's really a hard argument to say that this is not an unsportsmanlike foul. As passive as it might have been afterwards, shall we say. Well, the referees are being nice, and they're downgrading it to a common foul.
They probably could have had the common foul on the reach-in before the foul, the one where he hit his foot ever happened. They slapped his arm right there.
Personnel changes for the Steelers as they bring Mao Sun-Siao in. are tied up at 63 as the Steelers have a 23-16 quarter going. On the strength of mostly one man as Ethan beating the steal and couldn't deliver the pass. So Jeremy trying to break some records. We'll have that one bounce out of bounds, and maybe he had to check himself after that. Certainly got everybody excited. Go right on the LP logo. It is a little bit out.
Maybe take a step in a little bit further next time.
Kaohsiung on the handoff, quick catching fire. The Pilots have so far only had Sakafini and Pom make threes as they double Jeremy. Ball off the foot, quick reset. The rest of the team is 0 for 4 shooting the 3-ball. Pretty quick rest for Wendell Lewis as he comes in. Now it's Jeremy Lin on the post up, spinning baseline but trapped. Out to Jamarcus. That's one halfway down and out. Good look. Justin through the middle. But unlucky there. But they call it off the foot. No, they call it a foul, and that's certainly a hard one to take for the Steelers. Maybe they called it on Jamarcus, though, and they did indeed on the wrap. It's only the first on Jamarcus.
I think Jeremy might have thought they called it on him at first. If he ran away and pleaded his case.
Might I remind all Plus League players, fouls are not reviewable by challenge. Only possibly upgraded fouls as reviewed by the referees. Only 1 for 2 trip. Tason's fresh in the game, trying to put the moves on Ethan. Captain gets the screen as they bounce it around. Lewis stopping and popping with a beautiful right-handed hook. Allheim waiting for the cross screen, which doesn't come. Washburn, long jumpers off the mark. Oh, they keep on saying there's a left side basket problem. It kind of feels like there's a right side basket problem right now as Tason fires away.
Steelers going to have to look to score without Jeremy now with him off the court to do some offense.
A little high-low action, but good job by Gokul to cause a loose ball. Steelers push it up. Little give. And they do get the foul as Vassov was found to Tason cutting.
Come on, bro. All that flopping you do.
Finally, the Pilots getting a substitution going as there you see Washburn made contact in 2 spots, on the shoulder and on the elbow. Gokul trying to make it to 10 personal points on the game. Not had the best time shooting the ball. 3 for 11. But he has also 5 rebounds, a couple steals, and a couple assists.
He has stepped up in this game, and he's been aggressive on both sides of the court. It's been a nice.
Sonny, shot fake, now trying to hand it off to Zhangzhenyan. He almost throws it into the hands of the Steelers. And Sonny on the cross-court pass. Another stop for the Steelers. going baseline again, and this time called for the traveling. You can definitely see that from a mile away, ready to go baseline against Pong Pong.
Right. Oh, that was a close call right there.
Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Lansoff was doing a great job putting his hands on the pass.
That's a good job on him recovering on that low screen to get back over there to deflect that.
Ethan losing the handle on it as they finally scramble to pick up the basketball. DeMarcus to Lansoff, who's dodging one, blocked by another. Long rebound out to Natason. He'll go to the cup. Catching it back. Weber now on a scramble. DeMarcus will try. He misses the three. One last chance for the Pilots, though they can't slow down too much. 6 seconds on the clock. Through the middle and into the mid-range. Ethan probably had that partially blocked.
Yeah, it looked like they got a hand on it.
That'll be the end of the third quarter. Jeremy Lin show and Linsanity here in Taoyuan as having a 7-point deficit at the half. They are now up by 2, heading to the fourth and final frame of this one.
享受，其他的球迷朋友一样嘛，会跳不会跳都可以一起站起来陪着 Pirates Crew 继续舞动，享受来到我们桃园巨蛋特有的氛围。有了这两位，郑牙的学历很不错，
非常好。一起来舞动你的身体，帮我们领航员来加油！非常棒，欢迎你们！好的，谢谢 Pirates Crew。
这是要进入最后一节第4节，目前2分，钢铁人暂时在领先。
The Pilots crew just did their fourth quarter performance with some of the fans who are enthusiastically participating. If you like Plus League basketball, we have another one coming up on this game day of March 19th. Changing things up, they have the mascots on the poster as created by our colleague in the Plus League, Hank Lee. To start the fourth quarter, it's Sunny Sakakini and Goku Natason, the 2 imports. Natason goes backdoor for the easy score, assist to one Jeremy Lin.
Just like the beginning of the third quarter, I think the Steelers came in beginning of the fourth quarter with the set play, looking for that open backdoor cut.
Justin finally knocking down a 3 for the Pilots.
First time we've seen Justin with a shot in since the second quarter. It's good to see him come out with a 3.
Jeremy with a hand in his face, no matter. Another score for number 7.
both teams going to have to be careful. Both teams need this victory to cut down on turnovers and fouls. There's a foul
on the drive there, but Jeremy crossing over, then crossing again. Out of the baseline, Ethan finds Sonny. The pop for the foul. There were 2 whistles on that play. So as much as you'd like to argue, he's got to convince 2 referees.
I think they might have. The baseline ref might have called it on 20, whereas I think the sideline ref was calling it on Jeremy, but they changed, or the baseline ref changed it once he saw the other call.
Good observation. So Sakakini rattle at that first free throw. He's now up to 21 points. One behind Justin Wu-Jing-Xiao.
You know, being a ref, sometimes you have to read your teammates also, the other refs that are out there, to see what they are, especially if you both make a foul.
Wide open, it's Captain Lou from deep. Jeremy Lin with the assist once again. Down in the post. Valentini going quick baseline, and he finishes through the defense.
Very nice move on that baseline. Chen, he didn't have much of a...
And it's Jeremy Lin continuing. As hot as the sun. Now a 6-point lead for the Steelers.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to come out and put some pressure on him.
Justin can't encounter. Chance for the Steelers to continue to increase this lead. Jeremy crossing right, getting the switch. Moving left and right, finding a teammate, Natason in a driving kick. Captain Lou hitting him earlier, he's got it.
Steelers are starting to feel it. Starting to light it up now. Starting to get that shot and get that confidence. That's all you need at times.
A turnover as Natason has one man to beat. Easy layup. And a timeout by the Pilots as very quickly they find themselves down by 11. A little bit more than 9 minutes to play in this one. Right now looking at a 0-2 home weekend. We'll be back after these messages as it remains the Jeremy Lin Show here in Taiwan.
Diamonds in my bow, rock diamonds in my bow. Diamonds in my bow. If you wanna sit down, to be like that. My mom's so oh my god, then okay, rock diamonds in my bow. If you wanna sit down, to be like that. My mom's so oh my god, then okay, I show you what's in my bow.
谢谢 Let's go。继续来帮我们领航员加油。
81-70 is the score, and we gave him credit for their team's strong performance in the third quarter. Well, the MVP of the game is also doing it in the fourth quarter. Jeremy Lin coming onto the scene, 5 points in the fourth, including 2 big assists to one to Goku Natason, and most recently, Captain Lou. Steelers blow up the cross screen down low as Jeremy doubles. Washburn trying to find an outlet. He overshoots everybody.
Definitely not what you want to see coming out of a timeout for the Pilots. They went down into the low post of Washburn again, which is what they were doing the first quarter, but just didn't get that turnover.
Jeremy now guarded by Chen, crossing right and left. Gets him in the air. No problem. Nobody right now for the Pilots can guard Jeremy Lin. He now has 36, surpassing his personal plus league scoring high. Right now playing the rover on defense.
Definitely turning into the Jeremy show.
Ray, kind of lucky on that reach there. He'll go to the line. Another look at the great fundamentals by Jeremy Lin, and also the shot mechanics staying on line too, whether it's shooting the 3-ball or getting into the mid-range. Now the free throws are becoming a problem for the Pilots. They've missed 2 on the quarter.
With a shooter like Jeremy, you know, that muscle memory is just there. And so when he gets an open shot like that, it's going to be able to come out naturally.
Poked out of bounds by Tony Ray. This fourth quarter is also 17-7 by the Steelers. Jason now to Captain Lou. This is his comeback game as Mario hops down the floor. And right now, with all the momentum in the world, Dumbledore almost forces a turnover in the backcourt, but another look this time to Tayson, taking care of the dime there.
Pilots not communicating, and everybody's just getting sucked into the paint.
And this time an offensive foul by Washburn. As Jeremy Lin playing the rover spot dutifully in the right spot, the right time. Taking the contact and
I think it went right to the lip, maybe. Elbow to the lip, yes. He's fine, he's up.
Not only has it been a great game for Jeremy, but looking up the score, Captain Chen Lu is just a couple points from his season high of 17 that was in Hsinchu against the Lioneers on February 5th. Natason and one on the floater.
Nice with the foul. It seems like when you have the momentum, everything falls. Everything goes your way. Doesn't matter what you throw up, it's going to go in. I feel like that's where the Steelers are right now. The Pilots are going to have to take some of that momentum back and
they
get
do
back
have
into this game.
plenty of time in the game, as Jeremy also coming out for a well-deserved breather. So Pilots facing a 17-point deficit. And they can't secure the rebound as Natason gets another layup as complete breakdown by the home team, time after time. Washburn catching it low, patient with it, he scores. Referees maybe saving the Steelers a foul there, as they were trying to ask for the travel. doing right. Out to Captain Lu, handing his praise. Doesn't matter. There he is with 18 on the game.
He's feeling it as well.
Dribbles into trouble and turns it over, and hard to believe it, but just like that, it looks like the Steelers are putting this one to bed. Stompaway not quite in the action yet. Quick fire three. Like their last matchup, the Steelers are absolutely boat racing the Pilots in individual quarter scoring. Backdoor. So Ray gets his sneakers on it. As the Pilots, I guess they were saving their timeouts for the fourth quarter, as they just called one with 5:55 on the clock, but this game already a 20-point deficit.
I don't think we foresaw this, but the Steelers have came out and they are just really on fire. They're looking for their shot, passing the ball around. They're not having a lot of turnovers. It also seems like they're communicating. They're looking for the shooters. They've looked for Captain Lou a couple times there. Started to play well.
Jeremy Lin in the Steelers games before his arrival on February 12th, averaging 104 points allowed to their opponents. Of course, a 2-17 record doesn't look so good, but they've suddenly moved their way up to the front end of the Plus League team defense at only giving up 89.3 points per game. Again, the 4-3 record might not be the hot enough pace to keep up it with the fourth place team, but it's certainly a marketed improvement by the addition of one man, bringing into the team a much stronger culture. And Captain Lou, the Splash brother, with Jeremy running the show, finding his confidence, and kind of just a matter of time that he eventually got healthy enough and got a game that was hot, where you're shooting hot enough.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, Jeremy coming in and really promoting the defensive side of the ball with communication and just speeding up the tempo on that side has really made a positive change for the Steelers.
Quick inbounds as Weber gets his first score.
The Pilots just do not have an answer right now to keep them
over 28. Lucky bounce there as Washburn juggles it out of bounds. Looks like the Pilots will bring in more subs as Wayne, who had a rare stint early in the game, is out. There you see the set play. Out going through the middle, the third on the Pilots.
hard aside from the lane to be able to guard Darren.
Good athleticism. Jamarcus gives his team another chance. So alley-oop missed by Lewis. So they got another chance to Jeremy, this time off target. Mercifully, if you're the Pilots fans. We kind of just sensed Jeremy was looking for the alley there. Maybe that'll come up again later in the game. All right, from the mid-range, rolls it in.
This place would have gone crazy if he would have made that.
I agree with you. And finally, the Pilots have double-digit points in the fourth quarter. Marcus trying to go with power. Can't get the roll in. Lewis missing a couple putbacks there. Chen on the turnaround, or on the handoff, I should say. That's a curl handoff, excuse me.
A little bit of life. We're going to have to pick it up and go a little bit on the defensive side.
Down low to Lewis, but again, it's off the mark. That one's short. It was Samboy, good effort, but again, pokes it out of bounds.
He's still struggling down there in that paint. You have to realize, though, it's his first game here. Getting his legs underneath him, getting used to being on a new team.
Pauian, who started the game, but kind of back into some cleanup minutes as Pauian loses on the spin. Wayne can't get the follow-up. Gave up a 3, and again, it's been tough going. Maybe a rookie foul there by Jamarcus, trying to box out Pauian.
Might have got their arms wrapped up down there. He's trying to get the box out.
Justin on the curl, short with it, and this time Jamarcus beats out Pauian for the rebound.
He's not going to give that one up, that's for sure.
Jeremy already has broken his personal point high. Pauian called for the hook on the back. Not giving up on the game. Of course, Jeremy trying to play a lot more, get into his own playing shape, but also educate his teammates on how to get the most out of their time on the floor.
He's been a great addition to just his experience, just be able to come in, especially with some of the younger guys.
Elevator play, but he's off to the left. One-handed layup, too easy.
His experience, but also his drive and his push, just encouraging those younger players, and even the older players, to, no matter what their record is at this point, to just keep playing hard. You never know what can happen.
Washburn triple team now, and good defense by the Steelers will get a jump ball out of it. And right now you see a lot of frustrated looks on the Pilots as clearly Lu Junxiang maybe suffering on a back-to-back. Hardly has any energy in his legs. He's trying to size up Cho Portell to the step back.
I think they're probably just shocked that they're down by this much at this point of the game. I didn't think they expected to be down by 20 towards the end of the fourth quarter with the way both teams were playing. But it's a game of momentum change, and that momentum shifted.
Another turnover by the Pilots. One of their get right threes is swished. And it looks like both coaches are about ready to bring in all their benches with this called timeout.
I think that pretty much sizes up the game right there. They're just up by 20. Nice fourth quarter by by the Steelers to put this game away.
Well, looking ahead on the schedule, the Steelers next week are back home. They take on the Braves on Saturday night at 7 p.m. on another work makeup day. Meanwhile, the Pilots will take on the Steelers on Sunday at 5 p.m. So you could say played the Steelers in 3 straight game weeks, and right now the advantage has completely shifted to the red team now, or black for today's jersey selection. The Pilots were on top of the league before and certainly very secure with the playoffs. But even if the playoffs were to start next week, you don't feel very good about their form.
So this was an important game for them to try to come out and play well. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to do it. And so they're going to have to look to come out next weekend and get a victory. Whereas the Steelers are still having to prove something. You know, they need to get some more victories and have more games like this where they come out and just really play well. Not that we're saying they played well the whole game, but when it mattered, they played well.
Little keep away by the Steelers as they still have Lewis in there. Captain Lou trying to find a score and get the layup, and the Pilots, it's the same 5 that went to the bench before the timeout. Washburn and off to Kaohsiung, and another made 3.
It is good to see Justin hit some threes in this game. Please keep this stroke. Finish out this season.
Moving up to Captain Wu with his own cosmetic 3. That's the century mark for the Steelers, as we can really say in this game the Pilots defense let them down in the second half, giving up 60 points. And Washburn gets his own 3, and under 24 seconds, that should be the game. So the Steelers accomplished their mission of the week, getting a victory on the road, and the Pilots, meanwhile, did not take advantage of their week off at all, with 2 more losses on their record in week 20.
Yeah, the Pilots unfortunately just looked really tired, even though they, like you said, they had a weekend off last week. They did have to play yesterday, but they just didn't look like they were ready to come out and play today.
Well, we hope you stick around. There's certainly going to be some post-game celebrations. Of course, expecting Jeremy to be generous with some of his equipment today, and of course, be looking out for the TV interview to take place afterwards too. Having a moment with all the Pilots before they see each other next week. But also, I think an important storyline is if Captain Lou can find his shot. We talked before the game, he's of course struggling from 3, and his free throw shooting was probably our best indicator of maybe some of the injuries he needed to get over in the early part of the season.
God damn it.
Yeah, we know Captain Lou can shoot. It's just, at this point, I think maybe a mental thing. And so to see him come out and play well tonight has been an encouragement for the Steelers.
There he goes, signing some memorabilia. And the post-game coverage will, of course, take a little bit longer whenever, especially the Steelers in their victories. It is a little bit further from the grandstands to get around the scorer's table, so
let's just everybody stay in your seats, and he'll come to you, I guess, huh? Oh, he's going to point it out.
That's a smart thing to do.
That is. Yeah.
Let some of his...
Not let him go up there.
Steeler, shall we say, colleagues get to work on that part. Of course, we mentioned the Pilots defense. Well, the Steelers defense held the Pilots to only 39 points in the second half. And in particular, that third quarter, as you mentioned, a huge tone setter. They were only 5 for 19.
Sometimes, you start scoring on the offensive side, it encourages you to play harder defense. And I think that's what happened tonight. They started getting some points and then started to motivate them to play a little bit harder on that opposite end of the court so that they could have more opportunities to score.
They also had 10 assists in the second half, which is also predicated on some of that outside shooting getting activated from a lot of different players.
And it was nice to look for the assist that they were actually looking for the guys that had been shooting hot, and they just weren't taking the first open look, but they were actually looking to get Captain Lou open or Jeremy with the shot.
Now he's about ready to get the headset on as his gaggle of photographers finally kind of get him set around the top of the three-point arc in front of the Steelers basket. Let's not forget, this is a turnaround comeback victory for the Steelers. There he is. Asked about making 5 consecutive threes and the confidence he had.
我觉得我们的球队的想法，其实我最近一直夸正如，可是我们在半场的时候，正如一直说我真的不懂，我每次投就觉得已经进了，为什么今天就是有几个没进？然后我们就一直说 ，OK， 那下半场就继续投。我们也知道我们的能力，就是有时候打客场或者有时候就是刚开始的时候，可能不会有最好的这个感觉，所以我们也是保持一种继续投篮shoot your shot 的一个状态，所以也是要感谢我们的队长。
Sharing that Captain Lou, in fact, during practices and early other parts of the game, saying he thought he'd already made all these shots, but not quite on the mark. But they keep encouraging each other, and eventually they found some sharp shooting.
我身体现在 OK 了，就是上个礼拜也要抱歉一下，就是我知道很多球迷也是买了票，那这也是有时候我不能控制，就是我早上4点到10点，就是一直睡不着觉，然后一直其实就是。也有一点发烧，也有一直拉肚子这些东西，可能我不用说全部的症状，可是就是也不太好。那也是感谢上帝，就是给我很快能恢复，就是4、5天就已经好了，然后可以这个周末一起就是跟球队一起去战斗打球。
And Jeremy, in fact, adding to the apology for the illness he underwent last week, staying out of action, but he's happy to get back onto the floor. Now asked about his trash talking.
你没听到，可能你没听清楚，可能我是说 You can guard me， 我忘记我说什么。其实就是可能有时候打球也不是也能说清楚一点，就是完全不是不尊重对手，有时候是需要提醒自己。通常我是跟我自己讲话。就是你是一个杀手 ，You're a killer on the court。你就是没有一个人可以防你，就是有时候也需要跟自己去讲话，提醒自己，所以这个完全不是为了去跟任何一个人去竞争或者对他们没有尊重，只是提醒我自己我的能力是什么。那我觉得就是下次我知道了，我可能说的太大声，大家都应该知道我在说什么，我下次就在头脑里面说一下就行了。
Jeremy actually sharing the trash talking might be safe for himself to encourage himself to keep a killer mindset he shared. Thanks, Jeremy, for joining our post-game coverage, and we'll finally be going to break before wrapping things up from Taoyuan. Once again, it's a final here in Taoyuan where the Kaohsiung 1-7 Live Steelers, with the performance of Jeremy Lin, able to overcome a 7-point halftime deficit, and with some assistance from the Steelers and Pilots workers in here in the arena, able to sign a few extra signages around the stadium, which has got to be pretty cool. But I also have to remind everyone, appropriate fandom is very much appreciated. Do not step on the hardwood during the basketball play. You will be taken away from the arena and your entrance privileges taken away. But on the happier side of things, Aaron and Eddie on the Mandarin call, Ryan and Darren on the English call here. Certainly an exciting game where we really got to see the top level talent of Jeremy, and also you could say of Captain Luke getting into the fray as well along his teammates. They eventually overcome, making 16 out of 38 three-pointers, but that really belies how hot they were in the second half. And they played an overall much better game.
Yeah, you know, coming out second half, they just started to look for that shot from Jeremy first of all, and hit the 5 threes in a row. And then Captain Blue got hot, and there's not really much that the Pilots can do. And so I think the Pilots need to come back and really think about what they're going to do next week when they face this same team again, and how they're going to be able to defend those two guys. You know, it's once again, there's only just 13 games left in the season, and they're all fighting for a spot.
That's right, the Steelers turn to play back-to-back Saturday and Sunday. First the Braves, then the Pilots. Well, the next game coming up is the Hsinchu Jiekou Lioneers against the Taipei Fubon Braves, who took a loss yesterday to the Kings. That'll be up in just 5 minutes or so. And in the other game, it starts on Friday night at 5 p.m. The Dreamers host the New Taipei Kings at 7 p.m. down in Taichung. And as mentioned, the Steelers will start off their home weekend against the Braves.
school will be going on a pretty long road trip. Well, on behalf of the 6 teams in the league and the league operations, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot, Darren.
All right, thank you, Ryan, and everybody have a great week.
That's it for us. We'll see you guys in the next one.